The NFL world is buzzing after reports that the league has opened a referee review following the highly talked about matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Games between these two teams always bring intensity, star power, and massive fan attention, but this time, the conversation after the final whistle has focused less on touchdowns and more on the officiating decisions that shaped key moments of the game. When a matchup carries this much weight, every flag, every missed call, and every ruling is examined closely not only by fans, but also by the league itself. That is exactly why the NFL has procedures in place to review officiating performance, especially when a game sparks widespread debate across broadcasts, social media, and the locker rooms of both teams. During the game, several plays drew immediate reactions from players, coaches, and commentators. In real time, officiating crews have to make split-second decisions while tracking complex movement from 22 athletes on the field. Even with that difficulty, the NFL holds its referees to extremely high standards because the stakes are enormous. When millions of viewers are watching and playoff implications may be involved, the margin for error becomes very small. That's why the league's internal review system exists. After controversial games, the NFL's officiating department takes a deeper look at the calls made throughout the contest to determine whether the rules were applied correctly and whether the officiating crew handled each situation according to league standards. One of the biggest talking points after the Eagles and Chiefs matchup involved a sequence that many fans felt changed the momentum of the game. Whether it was a disputed penalty, a potential missed holding call, or a questionable spot of the football, moments like these often become the center of post-game discussion. Analysts slowed the footage down frame by frame. Former referees weighed in during television segments, and fans flooded comment sections with their own opinions about what should have been called. This kind of reaction is exactly what prompts the NFL to conduct a closer evaluation, not because controversy automatically means the referees were wrong, but because transparency and accountability are critical for maintaining trust in the league's officiating system. Inside the NFL's officiating office, the review process is detailed and methodical. Every play from the game is logged and evaluated, especially those that generated significant discussion. Supervisors analyze video angles, compare the decisions to the official rulebook, and assess the positioning and mechanics of the referees involved in each call. The goal is not to publicly criticize officials, but to ensure that the league continues improving its officiating quality week after week. In many cases, these reviews become teaching tools that help referees across the league refine their judgment and positioning for future games. Players from both teams have also been asked about the officiating situation in their post-game interviews. Typically, athletes try to stay diplomatic when discussing referees because the NFL discourages public criticism of officials. Still, emotions can run high after a close or controversial game. Competitors spend months preparing for these moments, and when a decision appears questionable, frustration is understandable. However, many players also acknowledge that referees have one of the toughest jobs in professional sports. They must enforce a complicated rulebook while maintaining control of a fast-moving and physical game. Coaches, meanwhile, often take a measured tone when addressing officiating issues. Experienced coaches understand that the league will conduct its own internal evaluation. Rather than focusing solely on referees, they usually emphasize the importance of execution from their own team. Missed assignments, penalties committed by players, and situational mistakes can often have just as much impact on the outcome of a game as any officiating decision. Still, when a particular call seems pivotal, coaches may quietly submit questions to the league for clarification during the review process. For fans, controversy is almost part of the NFL experience. Football is an emotional sport, and supporters naturally defend their teams when something appears unfair. Social media amplifies those reactions instantly. Within minutes of a controversial play, clips circulate online, hashtags begin trending, and debates erupt across fan communities. In the case of the Eagles and Chiefs matchup, the discussion quickly spread far beyond the stadium. Analysts, former players, and longtime observers all offered their perspectives, adding more layers to the conversation about what happened on the field. The NFL understands how important credibility is for the league's reputation. That is why referee performance is graded every single week. Each official receives evaluations based on accuracy, positioning, communication, and game management. These grades play a significant role in determining which referees are assigned to the most important games later in the season, including playoff matchups and the Super Bowl. When a game sparks widespread debate, the review process becomes even more thorough to ensure that the league maintains consistent standards. It is also worth remembering that technology has dramatically changed the way officiating is analyzed. High-definition cameras, multiple broadcast angles, and slow-motion replay allow viewers at home to scrutinize every detail of a play. While this improves transparency, it also increases the pressure on referees because mistakes that once might have gone unnoticed can now be replayed thousands of times. The league has responded by expanding replay review systems and providing officials with additional training to handle complex situations during games. As the NFL completes its evaluation of the officiating from the Eagles and Chiefs matchup, the results of the review will likely remain internal, as is standard league policy. Fans rarely see the full report, but the process still has a meaningful impact behind the scenes. Referees receive feedback, mechanics are adjusted, and the league continues refining how the game is officiated. Ultimately, the goal is simple: ensure that games are decided by the performance of the players on the field rather than confusion about the rules. For both teams, attention now shifts forward. The NFL season moves quickly, and every week brings new challenges. While debates about the officiating may continue among fans and analysts, the players and coaches are already preparing for their next opponents. The best teams know how to move on quickly, focusing on improvement rather than dwelling on past controversies. In the end, moments like this remind everyone how passionate the NFL community is about the sport. When a game between two elite teams generates this much conversation, it shows just how deeply fans care about fairness, competition, and the integrity of the game. The referee review process may happen quietly behind closed doors, but it represents the league's commitment to accountability and improvement. As the discussion surrounding the Eagles and Chiefs game gradually settles, the focus will return to the action on the field, where every snap, every decision, and every play continues to shape one of the most exciting sports leagues in the world.